At this time, we have UCLA. For UCLA, we have head coach, Coach Kylee Perez, student athletes, Kylee Perez, student athlete, Gabrielle Maurice, and student athlete, Rachel Garcia. Coach, we'll start with general comments about the game, and then we're going to open it up for questions.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I really want to be able to just say how much respect I have for that Texas A&M program and Joe Evans. Also to, the pitcher Harrington and what she has overcome to be able to get her team here is just unbelievable. So hats off to Texas A&M. Once again, I have a lot of respect for them. Know they're a quality team, and I knew it was going to be a battle. For today, very proud of my team. I think the way that we came out was the plan, to be able to have the ability to be in control and put ourselves in a position to play UCLA softball, and you got to see that. It was outstanding I just shared with the team, for Kylee Perez to be able to show great leadership and have Delaney's back and throw that first punch and be able to get on the board. It kind of set the tone that we're here to play. But a lot of great things. Just we executed great ball. Pitchers pitched, played great defense. We moved runners. We clutched up. We just played UCLA softball, and I'm very proud because, like I said, we're nowhere near being done with our season, and we just put ourselves in a position to be able to get after the next game.
All right, questions?
Marin Angus, Fastpitch News. This game, this sport is really all about momentum, and it looked like the momentum really went into your favor after the play at home. Do you have any comments about that?
I definitely agree. You can have big debates about what momentum is, but what I think you got to see is there was a really strong belief of having each other's backs, and I think that's something that is very, very powerful. We know that we're in a battle, and anytime somebody potentially is put in a position to get hurt, or in any position that may put themselves in the need to be able to have their team have their back, this team steps up. So you got to see a very strong, convicted Bruin program. Yeah, we could be a little frustrated about some of the emotion of it. What you saw, with myself and Coach Fernandez is I'm not going to tolerate allowing the players to put themselves in a position to possibly get hurt. That is ultimately the job of the officials. So we all simply had each other's backs, and then the best part about it is there's one thing to be able to have each other's backs, and there's the other way to be able to just get after playing great softball. And that's what I think you got to see. This team is very, very focused. They're very, very determined, but they're playing together as one. And, yeah, that kind of sparked a little bit of a fire. But I'm just most proud that they actually pulled themselves together and slowed the momentum down. And they did just the opposite. They pulled the team together, and if you would have seen in the dugout, they all actually took a deep breath, and they're like, nope, we're not going to let this get out of hand. So we controlled the momentum, and I think that's very powerful.
Kylee, your home run there early on in the game, just how big was that for you and for your team to really get that first run?
I think that we're always trying to do our best to get the ball rolling right from the bat, and Dee does a great job getting us going. And I know that if Dee doesn't, then it's my turn to step up. So I think that just being able to step up for my team and get something going was important, and gave us the confidence to just to get the ball rolling, like we said.
Rachel, not a lot of strikeouts. Could you take us through the game plan and how you were able to execute that against their hitters?
I definitely think that start off with my strength pitches, and then once we get through the lineup a couple times, I think just working in those off speeds to just keep them off balance, keep them on their toes.
Gabrielle, what kind of happened from your perspective on that tag play at home?
Just Texas A&M is a great program, talented pitcher, really great catcher. It's a tough play to make and judge. We're just here to play ball and have some fun with it.
Are there any other questions? If not, UCLA. Oh, we got one.
I had one. Coach, you mentioned the players not putting themselves in position to get hurt. In terms of that, maybe going into some detail of what happened, was the argument for obstruction? Because it looked like the ball was...
Well, the rule is stated that if the runner has to alter her path to the plate, then obstruction is definitely an option. It is a judgment call. Gabby clearly altered her path to the plate. Gabby clearly had to go back door and literally pounded her head trying to get around the catcher to get to the plate. So I'm obviously not very clear about, how that call was being made. If the rule came into play to avoid the collision, to avoid that type of play, and I think it's because it's gotten heightened. The judgment has been something that can be. It can go either way. I'm just going to say it that. My biggest thing is my concern for my player, and she had to clearly alter her path, and the umpire said she didn't, and that's what I was arguing about. She said she didn't have to alter her path, but you clearly saw that she had no path to the bag. She had to jump over the catcher, try to reach the plate, almost did, and put herself at great risk to be hurt. And that's ultimately what we don't want to see, is great athletes doing whatever they can, and that's where I believe the umpires have to come into play. I haven't replayed the tape, but once again, I will defend my athletes because she's doing everything she can to be able to score a run for her team, and the fact that she had to go to that extreme with no call was disappointing.
Coach, you've been to this tournament several times. Have you noticed it seems like there's been more calls at the plate in the short amount of time that we've been here?
I have been to the tournament, super fortunate for that, and I can tell you it's the game. We see it. I will say that it feels even bigger on this stage, and you want the best to be here to be able to represent and neutralize it, but it is part of the game, and everything, the stakes are higher here, so you want them to make those calls. But when it comes to avoiding injury, I think those where I really am going to make sure that I let them know how I feel.
We have two final questions, one here and one back there.
Rachel, how different is your first College World Series pitching ahead when your team's ahead as opposed to behind? How is that different? Pitching ahead with the lead as opposed to not having the lead?
I definitely think it takes a lot of stress off me, knowing that if we come out with the first run, just knowing that we're going to, after that, get some more and just being confident in our team.
Young lady.
Coach, just a question about Lisa Fernandez as far as the ramifications of her being ejected from the game. Will she be back in the following game?
You know what? I haven't even gone any further. Yes, I believe that she will be back in the game. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a first. That's a first. So, and I have no regrets because what Lisa did is, and if you knew how much she had Gabby's back, it was I'm glad that it only got to be an ejection. But clearly, Lisa, she has a great respect for the game. Lisa is an icon in our sport. Lisa is the epitome of role model when it comes to understanding her responsibility. We don't necessarily condone that. It's not who we are yet. Once again, it's an opportunity to fight for our players. I can't tell you exactly, Jez. I need to figure that out because it's not something that I really want at this point. But once again, that's one thing you're learning about our program is we will definitely have each other's backs.
All right. Coach, ladies, again, congratulations. See you this afternoon.
Do you need a softball bat? Do you want to save $30? SoftballJunk.com is offering an additional $30 discount off the price of all non-sale softball bats on their website. That's right, $30. So the next time you buy a bat, go to SoftballJunk.com and enter the code FPTV30 during checkout. And wham! You just put a cool $30 in your pocket. This show is a member of the Fastpitch TV network. See all of our shows and blogs at www.fastpitch.tv.